whether you're a huge online store or you're somebody like me that is brick and mortar, has a little online store, whatever, finding people to be able to lean on and bounce ideas off of, and even just be like, oh God, January through March, scary. And they're like, oh, me too, don't worry. Or they're like, oh, I had a great one. And I'm like, okay, bye. Talk to you later.
Boutique hustle. Hello, everyone. I'm Sonia, and this is Boutique Hustle Unzipped, and I'm with a special guest this morning, someone that I love dearly, and someone that's become a really good friend, someone I feel like I've known for forever, and we've only known each other, for like 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
She is Jessica O'Connor, and she has a boutique called Doce Boutique in Metairie, Louisiana. I'll let her introduce herself and tell us a little bit more about her and her business.
Okay, well, I'm Jessica, and I have owned Dolce for 10 years, the brick and mortar version of it. And then online, we've been there for about 4 or 5 years. So, yeah, I mean, Sonia, we've been working together for about 2 years now, and she had to drag me onto here.
All right, so you're a busy mom. We're all busy businesswomen, so we're going to get right into it and get the party started.
Yep.
um, so let's start with your origin story. Everyone has a first love in fashion. What was the specific item or moment that you made you realize that you wanted to curate your own shop or boutique? Like, I can do this.
I think mine was more of a moment. I enjoyed the fashion, but really I'd started working in retail at the end of high school and through college. Graduated, worked for a bank, worked for a logistics company, and realized that I more just enjoyed helping people feel good. And I worked in high-end retail. So I wanted to do something more affordable, something everyone could enjoy and not have to marry their clothes for $900. So that was kind of where it started. And we did it on a whim.
And you're probably not very manageable.
No.
That's the truth.
The crazy part was is we had to sign a lease. Like I found the place. They made me go meet with them that evening and sign a lease without having been to market, had no idea what was going on. So I learned a lot from the people I worked for, but starting from scratch, it was a whole new ball game. But here we are
Yeah.
10 years later.
That's crazy. So you mentioned before how much your dad influenced you and how much he believed in your creativity. What's something about him that people would instantly understand once they met you?
I think that we're go-getters. We're all over the place, always looking to help people. And that's why doing what I do is perfect. Not only can I help the customers, I can help the girls that work for me, teach them a lot, even if their next stepping stone isn't retail. Just lay like ground rules for life for them and teach them about business and those kind of things.
You sounds cliche, but you definitely are one of those people that will literally give your shirt off your back,
Ask
because
the
I've seen it.
girls and our customers. I will sell them the shirt off my back too.
A lot too about him and how your hands on your dad was in teaching you your business. What's something he drilled into you back then that you catch yourself repeating now?
I think two main things. One, if you don't have it, you can't sell it. I know it's a crazy motto, but I'd have a bad month and wonder why. And it was because I'd gone to market and pretended I knew how to have a budget. And then my sales weren't as high. And he got mad at me because I was so annoyed. He was annoyed. And he explained to me again, he was like, if you don't have the product, it's not there to sell to make the money from. The second thing was to keep money in the bank. I would, especially when I first started, I would go in a loophole of watching these people. And it didn't even have to just be retail business owners, other business owners living a lavish life. And he reminded me that, they're probably spending everything that's coming in. They're not thinking about taxes. They're not thinking about bad times like COVID. You got to be able to float your business, your employees, all the things, especially in this business when the seasons change right after summer and then you get hit with fall. So you got to make sure cash flow is there. So he always taught me to pay myself, but it was a certain amount and everything else was left and stayed in there. So I think that was a huge thing that I still stand my ground on.
Don't spend everything that comes in.
Mm-mm.
You'd be in trouble.
Yep. I'd love to do it,
So
but
in another life, right?
yeah.
So a lot of owners struggle with being the face of their brand, but you're doing it. You you're all over your social media, you do your posts, your reels. Like, is there a method to the madness?
No, there really isn't, and I guess the main reason I've had to do that is because starting off as a brick and mortar, the people locally wanna see me on the front of it, or my girls that have worked for me for so long, they wanna see them, they don't wanna see a
Mhm.
model, they don't wanna see anybody, but like I've told you before, I do think that's where our growth will get, like, kind of not plateau, but it'll stop there if we don't come up with some other ideas, you know? Can't do it all, but I do enjoy doing it all.
Yeah, you actually do, and you have fun doing it. So if anybody
Mhm.
watching goes and follows Dolce Boutique, you are in for some entertainment.
We do enjoy doing it.
It definitely will make you laugh.
Mhm.
And you currently don't even pay ads, like,
Mm-mm.
you average, like, 4 to or 5,000 views,
Mhm.
and you can routinely, like, eclipse 10, 20, and even 50,000 views. How do you decide what's worth a reel and just what's a distraction?
I think when I'm wasting my time and I'm endlessly scrolling at night and messing up everyone's algorithm, if something really catches my eye, even if it's not in retail, we can kinda, like, curate it to fit us, and, it's not always perfect. It's the silliness that catches the people, and then you gotta hope they wanna follow, and then for some reason, they wanna buy a shirt, you know, they see a small business, and they're like, "Okay, let's do this." So there's really no rhyme or reason to it. It's kinda just the stupidity.
Well,
But
because
it's
what we
fun.
do is not that serious, right? It's like,
No, no,
you have fun doing
we
it
are
because it's like, we're just selling clothes or buying clothes or whatever.
right.
We are therapists to some extent, but it's
Mhm.
not that serious. And you
Therapists, I
definitely
always say
feel
we're
that.
therapists, but they leave with a prize, you know? They're not just going to therapy and getting right and leaving with nothing, maybe a prescription, but for us, they are leaving with clothes. I'm like,
Which is
it's
a
therapy with a
prescription.
prize. Yeah.
So do you feel like you're missing anything in your Instagram feed, or do you like, just like you said, you're scrolling and yeah, you are. I've seen you scroll. You are a,
It's
uh,
scary.
algorithm
A
killer.
clicker. I do get intimidated by the whole followers thing. It really does get me. I get so caught up on it. I think I texted you yesterday that I saw our followers up here and then somehow we're down here, but I'm watching people follow us. I need help. But I try to remind myself that like I want shoppers, not just followers. But what does the real like social media world say? Does more followers get you more shoppers and put you out there more? So I think it's just always the question of like, what really is the answer? You know?
I think that's the forever question. Everyone's just trying to always figure it out.
And we're
I think
not gonna. That's
ultimately,
why it's alive.
yeah, I don't think it's meant
Wanna
to be figured out. I think ultimately what you're looking for is that numbers translate into dollars.
yeah, totally.
And that's I guess that's the tough part.
It
Thank
is.
God I'm not on that side of it.
And it keeps our brain going like this and keeps everything chaotic trying to figure out, you know, what to do. But I need to go steam this dress, but I need to do this.
Right. It's like when I opened my phone yesterday because I was out late, and it's just a chart. And you're like,
Mhm,
"Look at this. This shit's crazy. Da 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 da." And I was
mhm.
like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, "I don't know what she's saying." I just forwarded it to Ken. I'm like, "Look, I don't know
She's
what
doing
she's saying."
something else right now. Who knows? And she just sends a picture. I have to read her brain now and figure out what she wants me to answer her.
Yeah.
Oh,
And at
which
that
is
point, it would have
about
been too late.
you. I know.
It's funny. I love
But with
that
that
randomness.
said, I know. And with that said, and you having to always read my brain, I'm going to turn the tables and ask you to be honest. What do
Okay.
you think the most chaotic thing is about me as a business owner, besides sending you photos and expecting you to read my mind?
Yeah. Um, well, honestly, I think it's your heart, and I mean that in both the best and most chaotic way possible. You care so much about people that sometimes you'll inconvenience yourself to the point
Okay.
of exhaustion before letting someone down.
Yeah.
Having spent a good amount of time around you, I've seen that personally. You'll bend over backwards for customers, employees, friends, probably even strangers, which pretty sure I've seen that too. So, um, I would say that, and somehow in the craziness of all that, you manage to be completely unserious and wildly responsible. I was gonna say irresponsible, but responsible
That might be the
at
right
the
word.
at the exact
Responsible,
time.
this is a
Yeah.
first adjective I've heard about myself.
But one minute you're spiraling over charts and numbers and followers and, the next you're making people laugh. So I would
Well,
say
thank you.
that
Responsible, I'm going to write this
chaos in your
down.
world is yeah, well, chaos in your world is not necessarily bad. You just know how to manage it
Mhm.
well and you balance the crazy with the funny, and then
Yeah,
you can
I feel like you
switch it
have to.
in a second and be serious and be like, "All right, we have to
Right,
go upstairs. I have to get to this showroom and, like, place
right.
orders, blah, blah, blah." And you'll
Can't
do it
take it too
all
seriously.
well, no. Well, like, it's
Life can be short.
it's still a job at the end of the
It
day.
is. It is. And not only for like, in my situation, not only for me, I have a whole team, and it's their livelihood too, you know? So you gotta keep it rolling.
So, going back to talking about how funny you are and how chaotic and crazy, because you're one of the funniest people I know. How do you pull yourself together those moments when the business feels heavy and you're just having one of those moments and you message me, you're like, I got a meeting with my accountant," and you're like or it just feels,
Ah,
like you're
yeah.
struggling, you're having a hard
Well,
week or like it's
first
just
first
dead
I do a
day.
dance, and then no, I'm kidding. I think having relationships in this business is a huge part for that. First of all, it's a very people in this business are very headstrong and very competitive. So I think finding your friends in the business is a good thing because
Mhm,
essentially we're all probably going through the same season somehow, some way, whether you're a huge online store or you're somebody like me that is brick and mortar, has a little online store, whatever. Finding people to be able to lean on and bounce ideas off of,
mhm,
and even just be like, oh God, January through March, scary. And they're like, oh, me too, don't worry. Or they're like, "Oh, I had a great one," and I'm like, "Okay, bye. Talk to you later." Um,
mhm.
I think just finding your people that you can talk to. I think it's is important.
Having a community and somebody that
Absolutely.
understands what you're going through and not
Absolutely.
I think competitiveness is healthy, right, in
Oh,
this
totally.
industry, but
Totally.
having someone that understands what you're going through, is important, and
Right.
I think there's enough to go around for everyone.
Right. And I feel like you find those people and people that like work just as much as you or are in it just as much as you are. It really helps. Um, we've definitely found those, whether I found them on my own or through people that you consult for and help. Just good relationships.
Mhm. So, do you ever catch yourself wishing your dad could in those moments during business, like, do you ever feel like for those who don't know, I think you lost your dad not that long ago, at least, right? It's been several
5
years,
years. Just say 5
5
years.
years. And I know he meant so much to you and he was such a
He did.
mentor. So, like, when things feel like they're falling apart, do you ever catch yourself wanting to, like
Oh my god, I can hear him, like, telling me, like, "Chill out, you're ridiculous," or, "No, you need to get your ass to work right now."
Mhm,
I would stop at his office every morning before I would go and just, like, sit in the chair across the desk, and I knew when it was, like he'd just look at me and be like, "Why are you sitting here?" Or
mhm.
I'd, like, rush out, and he'd be like, "Where are you going?" Because he knew things were great, and why was I rushing to work, and, um but I think he also gave me the worst part of me, like, always hustling for the next thing, like, it's never enough, which is terrible, but it's a good thing,
I
you
wouldn't
know?
call that the worst thing. I think that's one of the best things. You're a good
Um,
hustler. Because
it
again, I
is,
think you do a really good balance,
yeah.
and you do
Gotta
you
have
you
fun while
you
you're doing it, you know?
you're having fun while you're doing it, of course.
Mhm. Yeah.
What do you
Because if
say what
not,
do you
then
think
you'll hit burnout, and I
mhm.
don't wanna do that, you know?
Like, what do you think he'd say if he walked into your boutique today?
I think I've told you that before, he only walked in for 2 seconds every time he came,
Mhm,
he was like, "Hey, bye." I think he'd be really proud of it, he'd be proud of the team I have right now, I don't think he'd be shocked that I still have some of the same girls 8 years later, because he always taught me, I mean, your team is your family, and it should get to that point. So I don't think he'd be surprised. I think he'd enjoy it.
'cause he knows who he raised, and
Yep.
I think he did an amazing job
Thank you. Thank you.
in sourcing from the same vendors. How do you navigate market
find different
What's
stuff.
your method to try to just find different? Or is that even a thing? Do you care? Because I have my opinion about how you do it, but I'm curious about what you think.
Um, it's crazy how it's changed so much over the years. Back before Sonia. That's a thing. Instead of before Jesus, before Sonia, by Jesus. It would not sleep. Besides going to market, I didn't sleep. I would scroll for endless hours on Fashion Go. Like that was my second job at night, trying to just find different things. And
Except you
not
and
to
probably 10,000 other women were doing the same thing.
exactly. And like thank God I found you because not to dog on it, but I mean now you don't know if you're buying from one of the vendors that you know or if you're buying something direct from overseas that is terrible quality and may never come. So thank God I have somebody like you who can help me source different things. You're down there every day, you're in it every day. I can't be there. Obviously, I'm being chaotic and filming a reel and steaming a shirt and digging in a box and dancing
Mhm.
around the store with no shoes on. So I think it's important to find somebody like you, even though I don't want anyone to know who you are.
Selfishly, what's something you would say, a task or something related to the boutique that people don't realize takes a lot more time than they would ever guess?
I would think, I mean, just the whole operation from managing cash flow to buying to online, I think I've told you before, is what scares me the most and takes the most time. We all want AI to be able to do all these things, but I don't just get an invoice and like scan it into the system and it goes in. You got to have somebody sitting there putting everything in, you know, and then making sure you have the pieces that you bought and we're going to curate together
Mhm.
there. It just,
Uh,
it's all a lot. It doesn't just pop up on the website. It just takes time.
and how would you consider yourself as a boss and a manager? Because I know you have a very good rapport with your employees
I'm
to
their
an
friend.
extent, yeah, that I'm
I'm
like,
their
"You're their
friend.
boss, not their friend."
And my sweet Jenna scares them to death. She is the devil wears Prada of Dolce until she's like,
So
"You have
you
to
have
fire
a mean
somebody."
cop in the store.
And it's not me, but she does make me do the firing. It's really interesting when I'm like, "Oh, sorry, you gotta go. Jenna told me to get rid of you."
I
I just
would
blame it
keep
on
you,
her.
but Jenna said I had
Yeah,
to.
Jenna said I have to. Really works out well, but
Hilarious.
it's just yeah, it's just who I am. That is my biggest downfall, honestly, when I've let people go and I'm like, "What do you have to tell me?" They're like, "You're doing all these things and not just doing this as a businesswoman." I'm like, "Okay, well, thank you."
That's good. I like Jenna.
I
So
knew you would.
I have no choice.
Exactly.
She would then have you fire me.
Mhm. She's like,
Suck.
"I'm over, Sonia. Tell her you gotta, I gotta fire you."
So I know your business is you're thriving right now and have been for a while. And I know that a lot of that is like local business and
Mhm.
all the local moms. Like, how do you keep them coming back and engaged? I
I
feel
think
like your store is a little bit of a social club to some
it
extent.
is.
So
Dolce
it's like
Club
they go to shop.
girl
Yeah. I'm like, this is where mommy goes, has her
has
afternoon.
cocktails. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Her
carpool.
afternoon coffee. Yeah. And they shop and then they sit there and hang out till they have to go pick up kids.
They do. They really do.
Is that your secret? Like, get them drunk and keep them?
It's like, mm, yeah, maybe. Sorry, if the sheriff is
Allegedly.
watching. Don't come. Actually, them. I mean, I think you can have the product. The product's great. Obviously, for online, you have to have the product because they're not in
Yeah.
there experiencing your store. But for us, I think it's very much driven by the environment.
Mhm.
Boutiques are it's supposed to be light and airy and enjoyable, and you're supposed to feel good about yourself when you leave, and it's really a very intimidating place to walk into. I mean, like for us, you walk in, you got all the employees sitting there, you have all these customers that are like loud and always there, but it's so much fun. You just have
It's like
to
always Mardi Gras at your store.
yes, it's a blast. And then I wonder why I don't get things done. I had to turn off the cameras there so Matthew can't be like, "What'd you do today?" I'm like, "I worked so hard all day."
Oh, because he can see in. Yeah, the cameras just
Mm,
they went
not a
offline. I
good
don't
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to call somebody.
Even
He
though he's
knows
my
you're
IT
so
guy,
Yeah,
can't
he
call him,
knows better.
sorry.
You can
I
never
know,
fool him.
I know.
So what would make you say makes a great boutique employee?
Oh gosh, somebody that can talk to people and help people. I think you can teach systems, you can kinda teach sales once they get to know the environment, but I personality, you can't teach. It is sometimes hard for me, and I've had girls who've come to me and have worked previous places, whether they were away at school or wherever, and they start, and I think they think it's just gonna be like, selling a shirt, like, "Dee, dee." We don't stop, you know?
Like,
Um,
"Honey, we don't sell shirts, we sell life, energy,
everything, and
and
then
then you get a shirt."
right, and then you have to seam the clothes and get them out, and I love a hustler. I love somebody
Right.
that you don't have to tell them what to do because, like I just told you, I'm their friend, so I'm not great at
Mhm.
telling anybody what to do.
Right.
So I love a hustler. If I gotta babysit you, and it's,
I feel the same way. I'm like, "We're
you
adults.
know
I don't have time to breathe down your neck. If I do,
no,
then I don't need you. Might as well do it
exactly, and,
myself."
like, I will treat you like a queen, but just,
When I
pack what you
retire or
get.
quit what I do, you know where
You're
I'm gonna
coming to
come.
work for me.
Yeah.
And we
There's
got an
always
extra bedroom.
make sure there's always a position open.
Always will be.
So let's take a little bit of a left here. You've been to many, many markets between Magic, Atlanta, probably
Can't
Dallas.
miss
Yeah,
out.
you must go to Dallas and all the shows, Hawaii. What is something you feel, whether it's vendors or the market people, could do different or better that makes it a little bit more exciting? Because you're spending time, spending money, leaving the kids, making sure
Yeah,
everything's in place till you get back, the store, the girls, the employees. So you have to feel like you're going not only, of course, you're going to get the
making it
clothes,
worth
but
it.
like you want to feel like I'm leaving this, but I'm going to go do this. And this is
Right.
so great. And because I feel like sometimes going to market, it's just like more of the same, just in a new city.
And it's over and over again. I
Hmm.
think, as we've always said, there's too many of them. It can't it's just like it's just redundant. But you also feel like you can't miss because what are you gonna miss? Um, and I think part of that comes with, like, I know all of the vendors, they have to get help, but then you also don't feel like you're building relationships with them because they have
Right.
to be so many places at once, and so they're not there to put a face to a store. So it's just so transactional sometimes, really, until I knew some vendors, but until I met you, I really didn't have relationships with them, which then translates into you're not even getting product that you've probably ordered when you were there. So then it just kind of becomes like a wash of like, why did I do that?
Hmm.
And so I just
Or
I
you get the top without the bottom,
oh,
or vice versa.
this lovely bottom missing the top, and then I see it everywhere, and then I'm like, how did they get it?
Yeah,
But I do wish there were less markets. And
because
lucky
there's
me,
more. Sorry, checking something. There's more of a buildup to get, like, a buildup of excitement, like,
yeah, you'd
"Oh,
get
there's gonna be so
excited
much
and
new." Yeah.
right, exactly. And then for somebody like me who doesn't have spreadsheets and all these things, if there probably were less markets and I were to get more excited, I'd probably buy more knowing that I've only bought these couple times and not I just went to market. What did I buy? The person there has no idea what I bought. They don't know how to open it up in the computer. They're just there to like take the clothes from
Mhm,
me. So then I buy less probably if I'm paying attention because I'm like, oh, I might
mhm.
have got this. I don't know.
Well,
And
that's how
that
you
was
got me. I'm
really
like, "You don't have to pay attention. I'll make sure it's no duplicates. I'll make s
perfect.
just
Attention
just
is not
just
in my
pick
Rolodex of
pick what
words.
you want, and I'll take it from here."
Right. And I think that's why I was lucky to meet someone like you, A, and then to have you and vendors who put on an absolutely phenomenal show in Hawaii where I was lucky enough to be able to buy with some of these huge buyers, but it was so set up so well that you had the time to sit there and really think about what you were doing, which in turn then you're probably buying more.
Yeah, you bought a good bit.
And especially because you can piece it together right.
You're not rushed.
Exactly. And in like the environment you're in, you're enjoying it. The vendors that are there, it's the people that are probably running the company, whether they're the
Mhm.
owner or first, second, third. So you can mess around with them to like make it more relational, and then
Yeah.
you're looking at it and you're like, "Oh, wait, I wanna buy this shirt because whatever reason," you know? Really, before I got to know some of these people, to be 100% honest, I just thought it was, like, fast fashion that was being shipped in, and I was like, "Oh, here's this little cheap shirt," you know?
Mhm.
and didn't know their stories. And it really didn't give you passion about buying from them or selling their stuff.
Mhm.
And then you meet them, you meet their wives, their kids, their whoever, and you're like, "Oh my god, I wanna buy that dress." And when it comes in and I hate it, I'm like, "Keep the dress, I love his kids."
Yeah.
I mean, it really does that to you, and it becomes, like, more of an emotional thing, which is a good thing,
Mhm.
because you find yourself caring more about buying from their brand.
And supporting somebody you care about as opposed to just
Exactly,
some random person.
exactly. Yeah, and it becomes hard when there are so many markets and they can't be there, and I'm not saying they have to be there at every market, but be there to, like, form these relationships. People don't realize. They think it's just
Mhm.
these temps that are there selling them clothes. So,
It's expensive for them. They're
oh, I
away
can't
from
even
their
imagine.
families a lot, but like you were saying, it's relational, and
Mhm.
it's important for them to know your story as well.
Right,
So when, I know they're not the ones packing the orders, but I know because I make sure it happens with my
right,
people at least. They're like, "You can't screw up this order. Make sure Dolce
right.
gets all her stuff. Make sure so and so gets their stuff. There's notes in the
Well,
computer."
and I don't even think, like, people at other places in the market center realize either. I mean, when I went to Hawaii, I got more messages after from, like, permanent showroom people than I did from other stores being like, "How in the world did you go to Hawaii?" It was like, "Who took y'all to Hawaii?" Or, like, "What market did you
What's
go
this
to?" And
Hawaii thing? Yeah.
I was like, "Well, I didn't just go to Hawaii. I was brought to Hawaii.
Mm.
They paid for my trip there. They paid for where I stayed as payback, we had to visit every vendor or should have. Thank you, me and Ashley did. We're good girls.
Yes, you guys did a phenomenal A plus plus.
We were like police were like, "They definitely didn't go."
Yeah. We checked the list and we were checking it twice again this time. I'll tell you that.
I don't even think what I was saying is that other, like, permanent showroom people realize that, like, these are family companies, you know? They really do think this is a shirt coming from China in this fast fashion floor full of temps, and it's not. I probably did not learn that until you were around, really, and
Yeah,
it's
and then
been
you
fun
get to
ever since.
learn so much, like you said, about their personal life, which, a
Yes,
lot of these guys I've known for years. Like there's so many of them I was working with their parents before
right.
they graduated high school and started to work in the business. But somebody like Hasten, which Ruben, shout out to Ruben and Hasten. We were at dinner and we're learning that he was a professional soccer player.
Oh my god, that's right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and you
You
were like,
did
"Wait,
tell us
what?"
that.
Like, he
Uh-huh.
was, like, a top-notch soccer player,
I
and I'm like,
remember that.
"What are you doing here?"
Yeah,
And he's like, "Yeah, an injury took me out and blah, blah, blah," and but
and now I'm selling clothes.
it's so intriguing to hear all these stories.
And just the other things some of them do too.
Mhm.
I mean, you've got Josh that does everything under the sun,
Yeah, and on the other
and
side
then
of the
some
sun and
more.
the moon. I don't know if you wanna, like, give out all your secrets, but do you have some
Oh, so
favorite
many.
lines that you prefer?
Honestly, I don't like,
I
if
think
I
you're an
look
equal
from s
opportunity
I
person,
do.
yeah,
I
buyer
feel
for
like
sure.
if I did have a spreadsheet and looked from season to season, it would be like this. I
Right.
think it's more where I am in my life, which is funny because it draws it back to an emotional situation in the store and my buying. Where I am in my life kinda shows what the store is selling.
Mhm.
And I think I texted you the other day, I got some, like, mesh dress with a cutout, and somebody texted us and was like, "Oh my god, sexy's back. We can buy sexy clothes again at
Yeah.
Dolce." Which I agree with. If I see one more poplin print dress, I'm just gonna
You and me both. Can
which,
we
I mean,
just
I get
say
it.
enough of them? Like, enough. Like,
Right.
enough.
Like, who
Every
needs
you don't
another one?
it's okay. We get it. It's a trend, but it's like, not every line needs 500 of them.
No. So I don't think I have, like, an exact favorite or favorites because I think it's kinda like what I think my customers are looking for at the time is what I'm kinda. And if it's somebody you work with, I'm just like, "I need this, I need this, I need this."
Mhm. And you're fast. I've seen you shop, and you will walk in a booth, and you're like, "Boom, boom, boom, boom," and
When
I'm
I feel
like,
like you
"Okay."
just know.
Mhm.
And being that I am a store that's more likely to be buying one packs of things versus 10 packs of things. I think it's easier to just be able to pick and be like, "I can sell this. If I like it, we're going to sell it. Put it on yourself," you know?
Yeah, but you go
Mm.
4 packs deep, 5 packs deep. So,
Yeah,
like, when you feel strongly about something, you go deep.
right. And it sells because if we're pushing it, it's gonna sell.
Right. And you feel confident about it, and that confidence shows through
Right.
when you're selling it, when your girls are selling, when you're wearing it. Like, people
Well,
are
and that's
buying off, like, off that energy too.
right, and I think that kinda brings back to the whole paid ad things. That's why we never did them, and I didn't know how to do them because I felt like our inventory turned over so quickly that I was like, "Oh, I never wanna put this picture or this video out there because if that's what I'm putting out there and paying to put out there, that's what people are gonna want, and I don't have it anymore." And I'm also not
Mhm.
gonna go order anymore because I don't want everyone wearing the same thing.
Mhm.
And then especially when we were selling more just locally, the hope obviously is always to grow and to sell further out, but
Sure.
for us, the business was built off of what's around us, essentially.
Do you have a lot of competition around you?
There's probably there's gotta be like 12 stores within like a I wouldn't even call it 2 miles, it's probably like a mile and a half. It's just one road. And people that are in the same ball game as us, people that are not. And again, you find your people. I'm next to a store, shout out to her, Ems. She's been in business for I think over 20 years. And her and I get along great. She definitely has higher end stuff, and then she has some stuff that's priced like we have. But she's been nothing but wonderful. Again, somebody you can like call when you need something or call to bounce off ideas or call to talk yourself off the ledge or are you open for this holiday? But that's also too
That's a
a
healthy
talking point of
relationship for sure.
right. But like having that many stores around you too is also where we get stumped on our growth because I don't sit and plan out these online drops because I'm just trying to get it out as quick as I can
Mhm.
and get it online as quick as I can because I need to do it before we all have the same thing, you know?
Right.
It's
And
like
that may not work for everyone because there are people who do it
right,
and that's their system and that's their cycle and it works for them and good for you
right,
if it does. In your case, you're like, I have it. I need to get it out today.
right,
You're not trying to make
right,
stories and like
right. But
a
you
whole
also then
collection.
wonder if that's where your growth is being stunted because you're not making these collections, putting them out to the rest of the world that doesn't even know you
Mhm.
exist, you know? Is that a
Mhm.
whole different side of business you'd be able to pull in if you
Well,
did do
that's
it like that?
sounds like something you need to test out,
I know.
if
If
I
I
should
could
say
sit
so. Right.
down and do it.
So we're nearing here towards the end. I know we got to get going, but really quickly, what's one area that you feel owners should try to save money versus other areas where they, um, like cutting corners versus spend money on that because that's going to give you a good return in
Uh,
the business.
Your employees. I think
Mhm.
investing
Good
in your
one.
employees is huge. I think it allows you a little more freedom. If you're treating them right, they're gonna treat your business like it's their own. Really, your employees. I
You
mean,
get what you pay for. Yeah.
yeah. And like my store is pretty, but by no means is my brick and mortar store like a museum that you walk into. I mean,
Hmm.
it's almost like I say it's like it should feel like you're walking into your closet. It is a chaotic disaster at sometimes. But because
I've
my
seen it.
employees are lovely, I know. Imagine when I used to only have half of it. We had like 1,500 square feet. There was boxes to the ceiling. There was shit everywhere. But I
And
think
you're like, no more clothes. Look at all this clothes. She's like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. And I'm like, 2 weeks from now, less than 2 weeks from now, you're going to be like,
I
I
need
need more
more
stuff.
clothes. I need more clothes. Ugh, like I need a hole in my head. But I think with that said, if you're investing in your employees, they are your people. They are what people are coming for.
Right. I
I think
agree.
they are worth it. I mean, yeah, sometimes they definitely ask for too much, but it's like,
And you're like,
but
okay.
yeah, sure. Let me call Jenna.
So what's the most extra thing you've ever done to save a sale or
Last week
even
I was
or win
sewing
over a
someone's
customer?
pants. I do not know how to sew pants.
But you
I was
did.
full on, I sewed these pants. Then they got returned. I was sad. I
Was
was
it
like,
the
now I guess
sewing job?
No, my sewing job was so good, I had to figure out how to unsew it.
Uh,
Um,
oh god, that's hilarious.
ugh, we've done
Why?
it
Because you were
all.
hemming? They're for
Yeah,
length?
she needed him hemmed, and it wasn't like jeans that I can just cut, which is also hysterical. We cut so many jeans at Christmas. I decorate our Christmas tree with the
With the cutoff
hems, I
part?
uncut them and I make bows out of them, and that's our Christmas tree at Christmas, is
Oh,
everyone's
that's
jeans we've cut.
hilarious.
God, we've
You're
done it
like,
all.
"This year, the new look is raw hem."
Yeah,
Across the
that's it,
board.
that's all you get. If you need a real hem, we're not selling you jeans.
Yeah, you haven't heard about the whole raw hem
Yeah. I mean, we've done it all. During COVID, we were driving around for hours delivering a T-shirt to people because I
Wow.
wanted to make sure that we made it through that. Even though we weren't
Mhm.
probably supposed to be operating, we were because we needed to survive, you know?
We all did. But
I
it
needed to make sure
actually
my
ended up being, I
it
think, great for a
was.
lot of people,
It was. I think it turned the business into something we didn't know existed. It
right?
pushed you to
It was a whole
online,
new
like,
world, yeah,
it
that I don't
was.
ever wanna live again, but
No. Mm-mm.
enough for a
It
lifetime.
yeah.
So if you opened your store, today, was there anything you would do differently?
Would
You're
have
like, "No,
probably started
perfect."
online right away.
Okay.
Mm.
But online's hard. I know online's difficult.
Online's
It's a
crazy.
different beast.
And
Okay.
not only are you just competing online now with like Amazon or Temu or whatever the world people shop on, you're also competing with all those Facebook groups and it's a lot. You know, people open locally and we talk about it all the time with these Facebook groups and stuff, and then they're not marking things up right. Well, they don't have the overhead that we have. So there's a lot of competition and you've got to be able to figure out what can I do differently to bring people in? And for us, that's our brick and mortar. And like I've said 100 times, it's my team. I
Yeah.
can be there and have fun, but it's who you have in there and your product, making it a good experience.
And to boutiques out there, I mean, just a little word of advice. Don't don't try to undercut your competition
Mm-mm.
or quote unquote competition to the extent that it's just mean and rude. If you want to
Right.
be like, if you know that they're selling up the street a dress for 59.99, fine, go 56.99. Do the couple bucks,
Right.
but to come in at 49.99, I think that's just it's I don't know. I think it's just mean spirited to some extent,
Yeah.
or
And
at
I
least
think
that's what it feels like.
I would say for when we've had to look to make sure we're not outpricing or underpricing, whatever, I would say where I am, like locally, the brick and mortar stores do a great job of it. And then sometimes I told one store owner however many months ago, you wonder if when these people do open like these Facebook group stores or these online stores, they're local people or whatever, but like, do they even realize? I know they know they're undercutting us, but do they even realize that it's wrong? You almost wish you had this like anonymous neighborhood boutique email that you could be like, hey girls, congratulations, we're excited for you. I mean, everyone try it if you want to try it kind of thing. But here's the deal. This is really how you do it. Make it
Mhm.
this much. We're all in this game together.
And the end consumer doesn't understand that you charging more for the same dress
It
that
might
somebody
come from
else
a
is
different
charging less,
vendor.
maybe different vendor, but your overhead is different. Your expenses,
Exactly.
like
We
your
get employees to pay, rent to pay, insurance to pay, the
exactly,
the water bill
exactly.
that I share with my neighbor, who I think he must run a bathtub all day long.
Forgot about that. But yeah, so it's not that the store wants to charge you more, but if they don't get the money out of the garment, where's it coming from?
Right,
And when, again, not hating on the Facebook groups or the live selling, but they're just showing you something, selling it for less, no commitment because they're only buying it if
right.
you're buying it, where you're taking the risk and you're going
In
to
an
take the chance
unpredictable
and sit on it
market,
or
it's
not.
always unpredictable, so you just have to take the chance.
So yeah, I mean, support everyone. I'm not hating on live sellers or anything like that. I'm just saying for the consumer, if anyone's listening, no one's just trying to like gouge you.
Right,
There's reasons why things cost differently.
right.
And so, all right, so in ending, let's just do last question. If your dad could hear this episode today, what's one thing you would want him to know about the woman you've become today?
Oh gosh, you stumped me.
I think he'd be proud as hell, but I'm wondering what you think he would say.
He would be like, slow down a little bit, I think. Like I said earlier, like always chasing the next thing.
But he taught you that. So you'd be
He
like,
did.
I'm your daughter."
Or I think he'd be like, you have these wishes and these dreams and these wants, even just with inside of your business. He'd be like, take time and sit down and work on them. Like for
Sit down
us,
and
I would,
smell the
yes, and call Kenwood.
chocolate.
I think that's
I'm
what
gonna
he
hear him
would
yell
say.
in a minute, "Tell her to call me."
um, but he would be proud. He'd be excited. I think he'd be amazed. I mean, I had to beg him to open a store, kind of, I'd say.
Mhm.
Um, and he gave me a loan and I had to pay him back and I paid him back just like I was supposed to. But I think he'd be excited. He'd be pushing
Right.
me just as much as he'd be telling me to slow down. Um,
That's cool. And your mom
so
too, who is beautiful and lovely. You look so much like your mom. Let's not forget about her. I think she goes with you to market. She's come to
she
LA with
does.
you. And so
She does.
she she's a wingman for sure.
She is. She's funny. She'll act like the girls in market sometimes. "Oh, I like this." And then she's scared to say it because I'm gonna turn around and be like, "Oh, no."
But she's total opposite personality from you. She's funny
Yes,
in a
I might
quiet
look like
way.
her, but yeah, I act just like my father, for sure.
Well, and then okay, serious like this has been fun for sure.
It has a blast.
I don't get to see you this long and this
I
often.
know, I know. Thank you for dragging me on day 2.
Shh. We're not supposed to tell anybody. We screwed up yesterday. So, in closing, what is the one unzipped truth about the boutique industry that no one tells you till you're in it?
That it's more than just fabulous markets and selling clothes and modeling and all the things. You're managing cash flows, you're managing emotions,
Paying
you're
taxes.
managing, yes, paying taxes, and you're managing unpredictable situations in life. I guess it's just really like any other business. It isn't just all butterflies and sunshine. It's real life. It
Mhm.
really is.
Can calls me the CEO of chaos.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of us. And maybe that's why we all end up in the same business.
We're all
Like
crazy for it.
everyone's therapist. Like we said earlier,
For
they
sure.
leave with a
For
prize
sure. For sure.
for the world.
And for me, it's all the relationships I have established and
Yeah, you
people
have
I have
some
met like
relationships.
you. And yeah, too many sometimes. I'm walking down the street and I hear my name and I'm like,
Oh my gosh,
you
going
could
with
be.
you in LA, they're like, Tanya, Tanya, come here.
Yeah. People
But it's
driving
fun.
drive-bys, but I enjoy it. It's fun. It suits my personality.
It
I get
does.
bored easy, so I need constant change and just go, go,
Hmm.
go. So, yeah, thank you for giving me your time. I probably robbed some away from your
Thank
kids
you.
this morning.
Oh
And
no.
thank you for all the listeners. Make sure to subscribe, follow, comment, and we'll see you next time at Boutique Hustle Unzipped.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.